Good morning, all of you. So, in this lecture, we will be studying the basics of internet web technologies. Okay, what is meant by web technologies and what are the technologies that we are going to use to develop websites? Okay, so the first thing what we'll be studying is all about the essentials of web design. What is meant by a client, what is a server, and how there is a communication that is happening between the client and the server. So what basically is internet? What is internet? Internet is nothing but a network of computers. There are so many computers connected together and you have a provision to communicate from one computer to the other depending upon how much information we have. Okay. So internet is a network of computers, multiple computers connected from the different parts of the world, and we form a system wherein you can connect one computer to the other. Okay. That means you can use the information that is available in one computer in some other place you can utilize it. So internet is nothing but a network of computers which are capable of communicating between each other. Okay. Next point is what is TCP IP or what is meant by protocol. Protocols are the rules with which a communication system works. I wanted to send a data from one point to the other. I need to have a certain set of rules that has to be followed. Those rules are called as protocols. Suppose you are traveling from your home, you are coming to your college, you have a road, you have certain rules. You have to keep towards left and come. So if you don't have any rules, what happens is that the entire system will get collapsed and each person will be going in different directions and nobody can go anywhere. Okay. So a protocol means a set of rules that has to be followed when data travels from one point to the other. For internet communications, we use two types of protocols. One is called as transmission control protocol. The name itself gives you all the meaning what it is. Transmission control protocol, that is TCP IP. IP means internet protocol. If you want to travel from one point to the other, what are the things that you should have? You should have an address, right? A starting point and an ending point, right? So these are called IP addresses in our computer network. So what is IP? Internet protocol. So what happens in internet is nothing but you have a set of computers that is connected through networks and you have communication happening from one point to the other. That is called as internet. Is there any questions that you would like to ask me now? If no, I'll proceed to the next. So we have World Wide Web. What is World Wide Web? We call it as WWW. So while studying this web technologies, we should be aware of three important things. One is the hypertext documents. That is the interlinked documents where you have, I told you there is a communication happening between one point to the other. So every computer will have a hypertext document that is being linked to the other one. That is called as the HTML page or something that we have already created. Okay. So hypertext documents, one term that you need to remember is what whenever you go to a web browser and you type a URL, what happens is that See, imagine that you have here you are sitting here and you are typing some URL. Your computer is getting connected to some network somewhere here, anywhere in the world. What happens is that there is a server there, it is going to send you some files. And that files are called as these hypertext documents, which are the things that you see in your browser. Is that clear? And these hypertext documents are built using these three important technologies. One is called as HTML, Hypertext Markup Language. That means this is the base of your web page document. CSS is cascading style sheets in which you are going to design your web page so that it becomes very user friendly. You're already studying UI and UX, right? User interface and user experience, UI, UX. So a user should be very friendly with this document, right? The hypertext document should be very clear, and the user should be capable of accessing this document in a very friendly manner. Why late? Where is your writing card? I will not permit latecomers, okay? So this contains HTML, the basic of the document, what you are going to make. It contains CSS for styling the sheet, and JavaScript for doing fundamental calculations and creating functions. Okay, a HTML page consists of the main document, that is the HTML, plus the styling document CSS plus the JavaScript. Is that okay? HTTP request message, message methods and headers. A request is being sent to the cloud. Okay, a HTTP request means you type in your browser a URL, you type it as http colon slash slash and then the URL. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. That means that you are asking or you are requesting a hypertext document, what we have seen in the previous slide, from a server, and a server is providing you a HTTP document. A server is providing you a HTTP response. A request is being returned with a response. Okay, we have client request resources from the server. The second type we have is methods. We have four types of methods: get, post, put, and delete. These methods are used especially in forms, in login forms, in sign-in forms, and so on, where you have a connection with a server database. Okay, you have some information that is stored in the server database. You wanted to connect with that. For that, we use these kind of four methods. What are these methods? We will see in detail in the coming classes. Okay. Now, in the last class, we have created this style, we have created these classes, right? Now, what I'm going to do is that the same class, I am going to save it as an external style sheet and then link it to this HTML. What is the advantage of doing like this is that if you have multiple HTML files, for all these files, you can use the same CSS. Okay, so I'll copy this. So now what happens is that we have done this in the same style sheet. We have saved this. Now if I open that, let me open that and show you. Uh, One is. So this one is like this, right? So we'll get the same output. We'll just remove this for the sake of it. The last two things, this unordered list, we'll remove this. Okay. You can save this file. Now what I'll do is that I'll copy this contents. I am deleting the style part. Okay. I'm saving it. Control S. Now I'm not getting that style. Okay. Now what I'll do is that I'll create a new sheet called as file, new file. I'll call this something like style. Okay, and I will save it as not HTML style dot CSS. CSS is cascading style sheets. So I'm creating a new file and saving it as style dot CSS. I am saving all these contents here. Okay, and I've saved it. Right? Now what I'm supposed to do is that, okay, not here. Here is where we did, no? This was the table that we have created. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to link that style.css to this particular HTML sheet so that these styles are applied in this HTML. So for that, what I'll be doing is that link, okay. Href is a very common attribute that is used to refer an external file. Href is equal to style.css. Okay, style.css. So this is the name of the tag. This is the attribute. Okay. So we have another one attribute called as type, which we'll put it as text bar CSS. Okay. So that style is being imported. Okay. So what type of this it is, and what is a rel relationship is equal to? We can put it as style sheet, just for the sake of understand. So what I did was I created a new CSS file called as style.css where I'm going to define all these styles whichever I'm going to use in the HTML document, and I have saved it. I have imported this style. Now when I save this and when I run this, I'm getting the same styles that is imported. Is that okay? All of you are able to understand this? Now, what is the advantage? Why do you want to do like this? In all professional web designing things, what we do is that we keep a separate style sheet and we link it to the HTML. What is the advantage is that here you have only one page. If you want hundreds of pages with the same style, you can simply import only one style sheet is need to be created, and the same style sheets need to be written in different pages. If I want another one style, HTML for example, new file, okay, page one, I'm giving it as page one dot html. Okay, for example, page one dot html. I'm creating a file, right? Like what I've done here. I can simply copy this and paste it here. And here, instead of subjects, I can do something else. So, so instead of subjects, here I am doing something else. Okay, say some other names, certificates or something like that. I'm putting something. This is another page which is going to define something which is going to show something totally different. It is not the old one. Okay. So when I open that page1.html, where is that? Instead of list example, I just need to save this. And here I can simply open page page1.html. So I got that certificates here. Right. So I got that certificates written here. Okay, this is a page one. You can see that I'll change the title for convenience. Instead of table, I'll put it as page hyphen one. So this is how you link an external style sheet to the HTML document. So this is how the response works. You send a request, you get a request here. The first stage is that you send an HTTP request, the request is being processed, and a response is being sent back. Is that okay? So you have, suppose you don't understand the language, what happens? The request page is not available. You are asking for a page and you have not, the page is not available. You have a not found, status code 404, not found. So it is a built-in standard way of responding to a request message in case you don't have the particular document available in your server. Is that clear? The next part is the headers, response line and body. So every request and response will have headers. We have acknowledgement, right? Say when I come into the class and I say good morning to all of you, you are very happy and you respond to me with good morning, right? So that means that you have acknowledged my message, good morning, and I got the reply as another good morning. I extend a hand for a shake hand. You give me a hand, so that reception is called as acknowledgement. Acknowledgement means the message is being received and we'll give you back whatever you want. That's what it means. If it is not available, I say that it is not available. If it is available, I say that it is available. Right? Is that clear? So we have a HTTP request and your server is responding with a HTTP response. Okay. We have different status codes. Each status code has its own meaning, and that I will send it to you as materials. You can look into that. Okay. So what are web clients and what are web servers? What is meant by a server? I've just given you a brief introduction about what a server is. Okay. See, what happens is that in reality, the documents that a client is requesting and that has to be served by a server is saved in particular location or a particular memory or a particular system. That system is called as a web server. Okay, and web clients are browsers. It is a client that is requesting a server. That means a Chrome can request an Apache server to, and the server is the one that is going to give you the messages. Is that clear? Okay. Not the message, the document, the HTML document, what has to be served to the clients, come through the web servers. That is how internet works. Is that clear? How internet is working? You have web servers and you are loading your programs through the server. And the server provides whatever you have requested, whatever the client has requested, the server will provide to the client. Is that clear now? If you have any doubts, you can ask me, okay? So what is HTML5? HTML5, of course, we have started with doing the basics of HTML5. HTML5, we have documents, we have language, we have text, we have images, we have tables, we'll be having lists, we'll be having multimedia contents, we'll be having videos, and so many other things that is being displayed in a HTML document. I want you to please so in HTML document, we have multimedia content, we have semantic elements, and so on. Okay. So in the coming slides, we will see how to load multimedia content, how to load semantic elements, and how to write an HTML document, which we have already seen. Okay. So next three important things what we need to study according to our syllabus is that we need to know how to create HTML tables. We need to know how to create or what are the different types of lists we have. We need to know how to load images into your HTML document. Okay, we'll see each of these. table properties for border, which I've shown you. We have multiple properties like cell padding, the place where you want to keep the contents, the bottom space, the right space, left space, top space, and everything will be there. All these things will make your table look very beautiful. I have simply shown you the basic skeleton with which how you can make a HTML table. Is that clear? Okay. Understood, all of you? If you have any queries, you can ask me. The next type of things what we need to learn is lists in HTML. We have three types of lists: unordered list, ordered list, and definition list. So this is the last class we have seen how to create table. Now I'll show you what are the three different types of lists and how to create lists. Now we will use the same things, same, or we'll create a new file, no problem. File, new file, and I'll say that I'll call it as list underscore example because I just wanted to make you understand this as a list example. It's not all files, you should be very careful. It should be saved as HTML file, and I've created a new file. So as usual, what I'll do is that since I'm lazy enough to type all these stories, I'll just copy this and I will paste it here. And then what I'll do is that as I need to close the body and I need to close the HTML. HTML I've closed. Okay, inside this body I'm going to create three types of lists. What we have seen. First one is the unordered list. Unordered list means UL. Okay, so I am typing UL. UL. I am closing this unordered list. Now this, I have opened an unordered list, I have closed an unordered list. Now what are the items, list items that I need to add? I will use li. Okay. So what are the list items I want to add? Say if I wanted to add the subjects that you are studying in this semester. Okay, so first I'll put it as renewable energy, no? RES. And I'm closing that list, for example. Then I will put the next one, LIWT Web Technologies, for example. Then I'll close this LI. Okay, right? I'll save this as usual list examples. Then I'll open the file here in my C drive, Web Technologies, experiment, lists example. So I got two lists written here, RES and WT, right? Okay. So now I wanted to create an unordered list. What I will do, no, this is unordered list. I wanted to create an ordered list. What I'll do, styling I'll teach you, okay. Today, if possible, today itself. I put OL instead of UL. Okay. Now I save it and I run it. I get it as ordered list number one, number two, and so on. Right? We have different kinds of attributes to these HTML tags. What is meant by an attribute, I'll teach you as we go on. Now, for the basics, you need to understand how to create an HTML file, how to create a table, how to create lists. Is that okay? Is that clear now? control elements, we have three types of control elements. One for the multimedia, videos and images, audio files, all these things can be uploaded into the HTML documents. Okay. Another one aspect that we need to study according to our syllabus is about drag and drop. So we have input elements, we have drag and drop and multimedia. In the coming classes, I will be doing all these things with examples so that you can understand very clearly. Okay. Next is called as CSS or cascading style sheets. We have already started using cascading style sheets in the previous classes. But now I'll tell you the three different methods of using style sheets. Okay, this style sheets are used for designing pages, making styles, making colors, making spaces, movements, and so on. Is that okay? So we have three different types or three different methods with which we can embed a style sheet into our HTML document. The first method is what I'm going to teach you now. So now what we have seen is the inline CSS rules for creating web pages. We can create very beautiful web pages like the one that is shown on the right side, left side of the screen. It's right. Okay. So you can use cascading style sheets to do this. You can insert images. Now I believe that all of you understood how to insert images, how to insert tables, and how to insert lists. So these are the things that we can do. For backgrounds, you can give background colors, you can give background images. The entire web page will be embedded inside a background image. Okay, you can do gradients. Gradients means it begins with one color and ends with one color. Radial, radial means it comes from the center towards all directions. Linear means on a straight line, it begins with one color, it ends with another color. These are called gradients. Gradients means it starts from one point and ends with another color. Two color gradient. Okay. Borders, style, width, and you can create border images also. You can create borders with images. Okay. All these things you can do it with these kind of attributes. Now I believe that all of you are very clear with whatever I've taught so far. We have some features like shadows. See the thing what I'm showing you on the other side. If you use shadows, what happens is that there is a shadow that falls. In colors, you can use three types of formats. One is the RGB format, the other one is the hex format, the other one is HSL formats. In the example what I've shown you, I put color red now. Instead of color red, I can put the hex code for any color. Hex code always begins with a hash. Hash and then the code for the color. Okay. So, like as I've shown you in practice, we can align the font according to our requirements. We can reduce this font size, font weight, font types, and so on. Okay. Text align. Text align means to the left, right, or justify, or in either way you can align the text. Then you can rotate, scale, translate, skew. The same methods like what I've shown you in the previous examples, the same thing you can use to create transformations and small animations on your HTML document. Okay. So transitions and animations, now we have keyframe numbers where you can change the way your HTML page looks. I'll show you these keyframes animations with examples the next class. Okay, coming class. So now I'm going to teach you how to style this page internally. That means I so now I'll show you how to style this. There is another tag called as style that can be put inside your head tag. Style. Okay, is that clear? Now I have already created an ordered or unordered list. So let me create a style for the unordered list, UL list. Okay, I'll put this as margin hyphen top colon. Okay, 50 pixel. That means that from the top, this wherever this UL comes, it should come 50 pixels down. That is, that margin for the top is 50 pixel. Then margin hyphen left colon 100 pixel. Okay, so wherever this UL comes, it will come with a margin top 50 pixel, margin left 100 pixel. Now I'll save this, and this is what I have now. I'll remove this. See, I got it like this. Let me remove this image. So I got this 50 pixel here, and I got this, how much pixels I've given here? 100 pixels in the left. So I got it in a position like this. Okay. So this way I can keep moving this in different angles. So suppose I have another one UL. I have another one unordered list also, where I am giving the names of students. Say for example, I am giving here Bijit, and here I am giving Sri Balaji. Okay, for example. Okay, so what will happen now? I will have another 50 pixel here and 50 pixel from the margin. From the top, from this thing, you have 50 pixel. That means this difference is 50 pixel, right? And this is 100 pixel. Did you understand? Now see, for every unordered list, I'll be having the same thing. Wherever I use UL, I'll have the same. But I don't want it to happen like that. For one unordered list, I want one particular style. For another unordered list, I want another particular style. So what I will do, I'll tell you. I'll create CSS classes. Okay. I'll put for this, for example, subjects. Okay. And I'll use the dot. Remember that it is dot. UL dot names. Okay. In this, I am giving this as controls. Margin top, I'm giving it as 0 pixels. Okay. Now I have created two different CSS classes. This is called a CSS class. Okay, now I want to use this. I will do like this. Class is equal to subjects, right? And here I will use class is equal to names, right? Okay, I don't need to give the tag, but I can give the tag also. Okay, that I'll teach you what to do next. So what happens is here it is 0 pixels. There is no gap. If I put this as, say here I put it as 100, I save it and I refresh it, I'll get this coming still down there. Okay. Similarly, I can use font colors. Now I've shown you only the alignment area. I can use font colors. I'll tell you how to use that font colors. If I want my brand color, let me call it as brand. I'm creating another class. Okay. Font hyphen family colon. Which are the fonts I want to use? Brand font family. I can give, say, for example, I'll teach you beginning with color. I can give, say, red. Okay. Is that okay? So here I am writing another one, Li, Li. I am using class is equal to brand. Tell me your any other subject? OOSC, yeah? Object Oriented Software Engineering. OOSC. I save this and I run this. I get OOSC in red color because I've used that class here, brand. Okay. So this is called as inline cascade style sheeting. That means that these styles are embedded within the HTML document itself. Okay. Is that clear now? Understood what is cascading style sheets and how to do that? And so in the previous class, we have seen how to embed our CSS styles within the HTML document. Now what I'll be doing is that I'll be giving an example where it will be using an external style sheet and then embedding that in our page. Okay. We are going to learn how to use Bootstrap. So what is Bootstrap? Bootstrap is a framework. Web framework means instead of creating your own CSS files, Bootstrap has already created a set of CSS and JavaScript files. JavaScript is client-side programming. That means you are doing all the calculations and programs in the client's browser. That is what is JavaScript. That is what we'll be studying in the next few lessons. But now we'll be understanding what is meant by Bootstrap. So Bootstrap, you can go to the Bootstrap website. So Bootstrap is a HTML, CSS, JavaScript library, and it says that it is the most popular in the world. So here you can first install your Bootstrap in your HTML page by two ways. First thing is that you have to install it, right? So we'll see how to install it using our npm. We'll just show this 1 second. Getting started, introduction. Say now, either you can download the CSS and JavaScript files. Already, see, we have frameworks for everything. React is a JavaScript framework. Angular is a JavaScript framework. Similarly, we have Tailwind CSS, which is a CSS framework. Okay, so jQuery is a JavaScript framework. What framework does is that instead of making you do all these things which is already existing once again, they have already created some things and you just need to import it and use it. That's all. So today, now we'll be seeing the use of Bootstrap because Bootstrap is very popular and it is there in your syllabus. And Bootstrap makes your website very much responsive. Responsive website means what? It works in all type of screens, whether it is your mobile phone or your laptop, medium size, large screens, and so on. For each screen size, we have the width adjusted. Okay. So this is one of the important advantages of using Bootstrap framework. Okay. This is an example. Now what we'll see is that we'll see how to start using Bootstrap. See. So this is an online link, CSS link for Bootstrap. Like what we have done with the CSS external files, we can embed this thing in your HTML document and use all the features of Bootstrap. That's it. So I'll copy this one, and here I am going to use this like I have done. Okay, we have this built in here itself. If you want, we can see that download, or we have this. See this one. This one you just need to copy this. We have two things. One is min.css and bundle min.css and JS. Okay. We just need to copy this and we just need to paste it here instead of typing all these things. And usually the script files, what we do is that we'll put all the JavaScript files towards the end of our HTML page. Now this is the next one. And just before I close the body, I am just copying the JavaScript framework for Bootstrap. Okay. Now what is the advantage is that I can use all these Bootstrap features in my web page so that it looks very, very, very beautiful. Okay. I've not done anything. Okay. Now I'm just going to put some contents inside that. So let me do that. Let me put a container here. So I'm putting this div class container here. So this is how you can use your responsive tables. Okay, this is how you can use your Bootstrap framework. These are the advantages. So similarly, in Bootstrap framework, you have tables, images, forms. So how to create an HTML form? We use this input label, right? This input type is equal to email, text, or anything. This is the way you can create a form. I'll show you this. Suppose you wanted to create a form here. You can simply use this, and when you run this, you will see that this form is here, right? Example email, example text area, example buttons. You have three different colors. You have some colors in Bootstrap: primary, secondary, and tertiary. So these are the colors. You can change the primary color. These all things are flexible. Okay. You can add your own colors. Primary is always blue. This color is called as primary. Okay. So if I want a text to be written in primary, say for example this one, I will put class, all are CSS classes. Class is equal to text hyphen primary. So when I put, and this I will, instead of hash I will put serial number just because it needs to be seen. Serial number. I will save it and I'll refresh it. See, I got the serial number in primary color. Okay. So wherever it is primary, it means this blue. Now, if I want this to be in green color, I have another. Secondary is gray, success is there, danger means red. I'll show you this. Class is equal to text. If I put this as danger, it will come in red color. See, this comes in red color. Secondary color is there. Primary, secondary, tertiary. Three types of colors are there. These colors are all built in CSS that is being defined in the Bootstrap. If you want, you can define your own ways. Like what we have done for brand now, we have shown you how to do that. Instead of that, Bootstrap has given names as tertiary, primary, secondary, danger, success. Success means green. Secondary means gray. So what are the colors available in Bootstrap and what are the names for different colors you can see in this particular web page. Okay. The text color for success is green. For danger is there. Warning means yellow. Okay. Info is this color, light blue. Similarly, you have dark. Dark means dark is not black. Okay. So you have these kind of colors. These are the theme colors. You can use any of these colors. If you want to define your own colors, you can define your own colors also. Okay. This is how you can use Bootstrap CSS. So you can write down this example here of how you have created a page using Bootstrap. Is there any questions to ask? Did you all understand what to do? How to import Bootstrap and how to use it? Everybody understood? Anybody who did not understand, please tell me. I'll repeat again. Clear, right? How to create a form in Bootstrap? So these are the basic types of forms available. Suppose you want to create a form, you can use different features. Say you have plain text where you don't have a text, this thing where you need to enter something. You have inline forms where you have the email ID and password here. You have file input type forms. Okay, you have color pickers. You have so this is a checkout form example in Bootstrap. Okay, here you have all the first name, last name, and so on. Okay, you understood? So what? How to do this? Very simple. In this, you can see the entire HTML code here. We have Bootstrap min being imported. See, two ways. One, you can directly connect it online, or you can download this CSS and JavaScript file and connect it as usual, like what you do for any other CSS files. Okay. See, background of the body, BG body tertiary. That means it is having this color is called as tertiary color. This light gray. Okay. So this is the checkout form. You want this checkout form to be done, you can simply copy this and paste it accordingly. So you got the checkout form like this, no? Yes. Whatever you want, you can edit it. Instead of billing address, you can put something else, whatever you want. Registration form. Say, for example, a student registration form. So we are coming to the end of unit 1 where we have learned the basics of internet. What is HTTP response, HTTP request, what is meant by internet, what is www, what is meant by protocol. Okay, we have seen the basics of HTML5, how to create an HTML5 document, what are the essential tags, CSS files, what is cascading style sheets, and how are we to use these cascading style sheets. And then what we have studied the basics of Bootstrap framework, how to utilize Bootstrap framework. So this is a summary of what we have studied so far. This is a summary of the first unit basics. Okay. Is there any doubt regarding this? Any questions? So thank you. We'll go for the next.